Okay, so let's solve for x. Let's find the roots using factoring first. So since we have this equation, we know we could do 1, 1, and 2, 2. Minus 4. 2 times 2 is minus, 2 times 2 is 4. And if I do 2 times 4, 1 times 2 and 1 times 2 is going to be 2, 2. There is no way I can create minus 3 with these 2. So 2 by 2 is not my choice. So let's work with 1 and 4. 1 times 4 is 4, and then somehow I need to create minus 3. So 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 1 is 1. If I do plus 1 and minus 4, and multiply them together, I get minus 4. If I add them together, I get minus 3. So this checks. So I look at the sign, I put it over here, and that is what I have for the factory. And now I look at it this way, right? And that should be x when x minus. So x plus 1 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. This is not complete yet, so I look at these two expressions and think of what value can I plug in x that's going to give me a 0. So I know x is either -1 or 4, and that is my final answer. Okay, number 2, completing the square. So from the original equation, we want to get rid of this new c and then find, get rid of the old c and find the new c, right? So let's start with adding 4 on both sides. If we add 4 on both sides, we get this, right? And then now we want to have this b over 2 squared. Okay, so we know b is this right here, minus 3. So b over 2 minus 3 over 2, and b over 2 squared is 9 over 4. So let's rewrite the equation. So we are going to add this guy on both sides. So it's going to be something like this. Okay, so because we used b over 2 and b over 2 squared, we know that this right here is a perfect square already. And when you write in a perfect square format, all we have to use is the second part, the b over 2, inside of parentheses. So I know this is x minus 3 over 2. And the whole thing squared is same as this guy right here. Okay, so if you're not sure if this really is equal to this, you can always go back and expand. You can FOIL it, and if you FOIL it and see, you are gonna get this right here. Okay. Now we need to kind of simplify on the other side. So 4 plus 9 over 4 is going to be 4. 16 plus 9 over 4, which is 25 over 4. Okay, so we have x minus 3 over 2 squared is 25 over 4. The next step would be taking the square root on both sides. So then we can get rid of this 2 right here. So because it's a perfect square, this guy can pay the ticket and get out of the jail. Right? So we get x minus 3 over 2 is equal to square root of 25 over 4. But this thing also can be a perfect square. So when you take the square root, you want to separate the top part and the bottom part. Right? And we know 25 is 5 squared, 4 is 2 squared. Oh, they both have the tickets, so they can also give the ticket and get out of jail. So we would get 5 over 2 at the end. So x minus 3 over 2 is 5 over 2. Okay, but there's one thing important that we forgot to do, which should have happened here. When we take the square root of a square, when we take the square of a square, there has to be a plus minus sign. This guy is fine, but when you take the square root of this square, perfect square, the other side should have plus minus sign. So here we should have plus minus sign. Okay? Now, so that means we should have x minus 3 over 2 is either 5 over 2 or x minus 3 over 2 is minus 5 over 2. And we calculate both sides. Okay, that is actually a little bit confusing, so let's kind of rewrite this. Let's rewrite this in the format that we want. So we're adding 3 over 2 on both sides. So we can have 3 over 2 plus minus 5 over 2. And now we can just say x is equal to 3 over 2 plus 5 over 2, or 3 over 2 minus 5 over 2. And they're both x, the solutions for x, right? So let's calculate this part. So we get x is equal to 8 over 2, which is 4. And then we get x is minus 2 over 2, which is minus 1. So x is 4 minus 1, and that's my final answer. Let's see if we have the same answer from last time. Negative 1 over 4, 4 negative 1. So I think what we did is correct. Okay, next we want to use quadratic formula. X is equal to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That is the formula. Okay. So let's rewrite the equation first. So x squared minus 4 x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so let's write down a, b, and c. So I know our a in this equation is 1, b is minus 3, and c is minus 4. Then all we have to do now is plug in into this formula. Right? So we know x is minus b plus minus square roots of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, let's calculate. Minus 3 is plus 3, plus minus square root of negative 3 squared is 9. Be careful of the sign. And then 4 times 1 times minus 4. We have two minuses here. So it's going to be plus 16 all over 2. Okay. So that right here, it's actually 25, which is 5. Oh, sorry. We should not have the root square root sign. Okay, that's it. Okay, and so that means our x can be either 3 plus 5 over 2 or 3 minus 5 over 2. right? So x is 8 over 2, which is 4, or minus 2 over 2, which is minus 1, and that is what we had before. So it works fine this way too. So we did 3 parts: factoring, completing the square, and using quadratic formula. They all give you the same answer. Okay, now let me show you how to find the vertex. So we want to rewrite the equation in vertex form. To find the vertex form, you want to find the vertex first. So that's, the equation was x squared minus 3x minus 4. Okay, so because we're not solving for x means you're solving for x value where y is 0. But this one, you're not actually solving for x, you're writing the equation in vertex form. So this is standard form. We want to write in vertex form, which is y is equal to a x minus h squared plus k, where h comma k is the vertex, right? And to find the vertex, there was a really handy equation, which was this, and that is the h, the x value of the vertex. Okay, so from here we know, from the original equation, we know a is 1 and b is minus 3, and that's all we need. Let's plug them into this formula, and that's going to give us minus 3 over 2 times k, which is 3 over 2. Okay, so I know our vertex is 3 over 2 comma something, and the way we want to find out this k value right here is, all you have to do is plug it into the original equation, which is in standard form. So y is equal to, or k is equal to 3 over 2 squared minus 3 times 3 over 2 minus 4. So let's calculate. So 9 over 2 minus 9 over 2 minus 4. Oh, sorry, 9 over 4 minus 9 over 2 minus 4 is k, which is what we're looking for, right? So let's find the common denominator. So 4, 9 minus 2 times 9 is 18, and then 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, so 9 minus 18 is minus 9. Minus 9 minus 16 is minus 25 over 4. And that is our k. So which is 3 over 2, comma, minus 25 over 4. Okay, so we can rewrite the equation in this form. So we know y is a is 1, and x minus h is right here, 3 over 2 squared plus k, and our k is right here, minus 25 over 4. And that would be, and you can just ignore that 1, and that would be your equation in vertex form. Now, if you expand this, and then do this, and then minus 25 over 4, you expand. When I say expand, you do it like this, right? You FOIL it and add everything up and simplify, you are going to get the same equation. X squared minus 3x minus 4. If you don't believe me, try yourself. Okay. So last one. When we graph, we want to have the vertex x-intercept, y-intercept, and since we got two x-intercepts, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to have 4 points on our graphs. So we already have the vertex, which is from here 0/2, comma, minus 25/4. And we also already have x-intercept from here. We got x is 4, x is minus 1. So x is 4, 0, minus 1, 0. And when we want to have y-intercept, all we have to do is, let's rewrite this. All we have to do is plug in 0 into x, and whatever we get is our y-intercept. Okay, so we already have all those 4 points. So let's plug them in. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is a vertex. So 3/2 is like 1.5. And then negative 25/4. 4 times 6 is 24. So it's a little bit below 4. So 1.5. And then below 4. And that would be our vertex. Okay. And also we know our A is a positive number, so we know it opens upward. So all we have to do now is connect the dots upwards and create a parabola. Okay, and let's plot the points. Give the coordinates 4, 0, minus 1, 0, and 0, minus 4, and 3/2, minus 25/4. And that is the graph of the equation.